Welcome to the Showgirl Connection. I'm your host, Luann. Today I have Frank Gregory with me in the studio.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you? Especially
Good.
being here with you. Thank you. Thank you for asking me to come. I know I'm not a showgirl, but I was a showboy.
But showboys. I know, that's what I've been thinking. We've been interviewing a lot of showgirls, and we need to get the male perspective too.
Yeah.
On the shows, and I thought you were the perfect one to do it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I first met you in Reno, Nevada. We were both in Hello Hollywood Hello.
Correct.
The largest showroom stage in the world.
Yeah.
With
at
a
that
cast
time, yeah.
of over 250.
Yeah.
Well, and that included stagehands and live orchestra.
Right.
And you were a singer in the show.
I was actually, initially I came in as a singer, dancer, swing.
Okay.
Because they created the position for me, and since I could dance and could sing, they just had me swing everybody. So,
nice.
and, we only had one day off a week at that time.
Right.
So, when people took their day off, then they would plug me into the show. And that was a lot of fun. It was great because it just felt like I was, continuing my career, my previous career as, something different. And eventually I worked my way up to the principal singer in the show.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Well, and so I know you came from Broadway.
I came from Broadway shows.
So
I came
how
from
the
New York.
heck did you come from Broadway to Reno, Nevada?
Well, I moved to New York right out of college, and it was always my heart's dream to work on Broadway and in the movies and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I did that. When you work in New York and you're faced with like 1,500 people every audition that you go to,
right? Because
back at that time it was open calls. A lot were open calls until you got your equity card, which is the Actors Equity Association, or your SAG card and Screen Actors Guild, or you had an agent.
Okay.
You were kind of at the mercy of pounding the pavements and going to every audition that you possibly could.
Wow.
And a lot of it was just going and auditioning and taking class. So I took class like everywhere I could, because growing up as a little boy in Pennsylvania, in a steel industrial town, there were not a lot of dance opportunities.
What was the name of that movie of the little kid that?
The English movie?
Yes.
Billy.
Billy.
Oh God! They made a Broadway show out of it too, and a movie. Yeah.
Well, that
was kind of my story.
Was that your story?
That was kind of my story.
So did you start ballet when you were really young?
No, I didn't. I didn't dance. I mean, I danced like back then. Polka parties were big, so I danced the polka and the waltz, and I actually started doing Broadway shows when I was in high school, and there was a lot of like high school community theater productions, and there was a wonderful fine arts program at Cedar Crest College.
Okay, now where's Cedar Crest College?
Cedar Crest College is in Allentown, and there was a theater arts program there.
Okay.
So,
So did you know when you were little that you wanted to be a dancer and a singer?
Yeah, absolutely. There was nothing else I wanted to do. I was like always the last person called to be on the baseball team or the football team or the basketball. Much to my dad's chagrin, because he was a big jock and he loved everything about it. But I always liked music, and fortunately they liked music too, so they were very supportive of me with that. And so it was something that I always loved. And
so did you take dance classes in college?
I took dance classes in college because I was awarded a college scholarship, performance scholarship at Duquesne University, with a group called the Tamburitzans. And the Tamburitzans were named after the tambura, which is a string instrument, kind of like a guitar or a mandolin. Yeah. And it was a full scholarship program. They auditioned people from all over the country.
Wow.
And I was one of the people that was hired that year. And that was my college scholarship. Because,
like you did work study.
I was awarded. Yeah, it was a work study.
Because I was on a full scholarship as well, and I worked like the front desk of my dorm. And I worked in the slime line in the cafeteria.
Well, our work was actually going to Lake Nebagamon, Wisconsin, and rehearsing with Eastern European choreographers and stagers, and we learned the show.
That was your work study?
That was our work study, and then we toured the entire United States while we were going to college.
Wow.
So it was really an incredibly eye-opening experience at 18 years old.
Yeah. And then you had a full load of regular classes?
Full load of regular classes as well. Yeah.
Because I went to Fine Arts Women's College, and so it was, it was mostly dance and theater. And I think I took English 101, 102, and some psychology, but it was all theater.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I mean, there were lawyers. There was a great medical program there. And arts. I was a liberal arts major, voice major, piano minor. And so it was people from all walks of life.
Have you always had that wonderful voice?
I've always had my voice, yeah, ever since I was a little kid.
Yeah, you've got a great voice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There was another little girl and myself that the nuns would always call, I went to Catholic school, always call up during school to sing.
At the church?
In school.
Let's go!
And this was like when Sound of Music and Mary Poppins came out.
Yeah.
So they would call us up, and Barbara and I would sing the scores, and especially during St. Patrick's Day, because it was the Sisters of St. Joseph, which was an Irish order. So we would get up and sing When Irish Eyes Are Smiling and all that good stuff. So it was just a lot of fun. But
Yeah.
I mean, singing's always been a passion in church. We were in church like 3 or 4 times a week.
So you're singing all those wonderful
wonderful
church
hymns.
Yeah.
Church is a big part of my life, always has been.
Yeah.
And so that, and then, the first Broadway show I did in community theater was Little Mary Sunshine.
Really?
Yeah, and then the Apple Tree, and then I played
I did the
Valentine
Apple
White.
Tree
Did you?
At Stevens College.
Oh,
yes.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I was a snake.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah, and Man of La Mancha, Fiddler on the Roof, and actually when I moved to New York
Were you
after
Tevye
college,
and Fiddler on the
no,
Roof?
no, I was a chorus dancer.
Okay.
When I was in high school, the first Broadway show I ever saw was Fiddler on the Roof on Broadway, and it was wonderful. It was starring Paul Libson, because he had replaced Zero Mostel. And then years later, when I graduated or left college and moved to New York, the first equity show that I got was Fiddler on the Roof.
Wow.
And it had just closed on Broadway, so they hired the Broadway cast to go to a dinner theater up in Massachusetts, and it was great, and Paul Libson was in it. And being raised Roman Catholic, I knew nothing about the Judaism religion,
Yeah.
Jewish religion.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting to be in that rehearsal
I bet.
process with all those people that had grown up in the Jewish faith and
yeah.
performed that show.
Yeah.
And it was just amazing, and I have such respect for mitzvah and the Jewish religion now because of that experience.
Oh,
And
that's
it was
great.
just wonderful.
Yeah.
But-
I was in Fiddler on the Roof
Were
in
you?
high school, and they always cast me as a guy.
Oh, because you
I'm
were so tall.
And I did the bottle dance. And
I
was
did
a
the
guy.
bottle dance too. I never dropped the bottle.
I didn't either. I think they were glued on our hats,
No,
weren't they?
Ours were done the original style, where the hats were the bowlers, and you made like a little dent in the front, and you placed the bottle inside of it,
Yeah, I think-
and we were up, down,
Yeah.
it was really,
Yeah.
it was really wonderful.
That
I felt like,
was funny.
I felt like I arrived, but every show was really just a lot of fun. And when you say Broadway shows, I didn't do that many shows on Broadway, but there's always a place to do a Broadway show.
Okay.
So it's on Broadway. There's dinner theater. There's regional theater. There's Lord contracts. There's summer theater. There's summer stock. So I did a lot of that. But my first summer stock season when I was in New York, I was cast in a season of Cole Porter,
Wow.
which was great because we did Anything Goes, Can, and Kiss Me Kate, and they were just wonderful. And the choreographer,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Michael Kidd. He's a famous movie choreographer. He did, and also an actor-dancer. He did the choreography for Seven Brides for Seven Brothers.
Oh, okay.
His sister was our choreographer. They grew up in
Right.
dance studios together, so it was great, But New York is a very special place. It's like another college education all on its own.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. And every day you're walking down the street, you run into another star, a TV star, a movie star, a Broadway star. So, I used to go back and forth from dance class and see Ann Miller getting out of the Mayflower Hotel, getting into her limo with her little spit curls and bobby pins, being whisked away to the, I think it was Mark Hellinger, she was playing Sugar Babies with Mickey Rooney. So,
Wow.
so little things like that.
So what years were you in New York?
I moved to New York in '76, and I left in '84.
Wow, so
Yeah.
you were there for
Yeah,
8 years.
I was there for a while. Yeah.
So you based it and you would tour out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But I did Best Little Brass in Texas. One of my
And
most
that's
favorite
where you
things.
met Charmian Clark, right?
That's where Joe met Charmian Clark, because I was going to say one of my favorite experiences in New York was Burt Reynolds had just opened a theater in Florida. and he cast it as a regional theater with all of his Hollywood friends and all of his New York friends, and he cast that in New York, and he also had opened a mentorship scholarship program there.
Okay.
So, and like Dom DeLuise, Charles Nelson Riley, they would all come in and like mentor and teach the students. And I was cast in Camelot down there, and Joe was casting, and my partner,
Yeah.
husband, and he was cast in Camelot, and this was in 1980, and we've been together ever since, 45 years later.
Wow.
So that's kind of like why we left New York, because we wanted to build a life together. And we just got tired of auditioning.
Yeah.
Because, so, yeah.
Well,
So,
and you toured with Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right. That was another real highlight in my career, because that was a Broadway production contract as well. And they had been planning it for about 6 months, and they worked with the company out of England that put it together initially over there with Tim Curry and Richard O'Brien, and they were casting in New York, and it was an open call because they hadn't found anybody. And I walked in, and I opened the door, and I said, "How'd you do?" And I found out later, after I auditioned, they said, when he walked in, I said, if that kid could sing, he's got the role. And I did. And I found out also afterwards that they were considering Ted Nugent and who's the other one with the black eyeliner?
Oh, from Kiss?
No, the other one.
The other one.
Alice Cooper.
Oh, okay.
They were considering both of them for the role instead, but I got it. So, and I toured with that.
Frank.
And I'm still friends with those cast members.
How long did you tour?
We toured for about a year. And then there was a strike in the middle, and we wound up in San Francisco, and it was a great experience. We toured in Canada a lot. We did season ticket houses like the O'Keefe Center in Toronto, and fabulous theaters in Chicago and LA. Aquarius Theater in LA, which is now gone, was on Sunset and Vine. And every night I would go out from the opening number, and you could see, because it was more set up like a cabaret amphitheater style.
Yeah.
One night I went out there, and Hugh Hefner and about 10 bunnies were sitting in the second row. So I'd always see people, from the Hollywood community that was there. So it was just a lot of fun.
So I have to ask you this.
What?
How did you get from being based out of New York to Reno, Nevada, and Hello, Hollywood, Hello?
Okay. Well, like I said, I met Joe, and when you're working and living in New York as an actor, singer, dancer, model, waiter, you're always looking for a job, because you get 6-month contracts or 3 months, however the show is going to be, and you're always auditioning. And then and you're not always going to be guaranteed to work together. So eventually we just decided we wanted to build a life together. And we thought, well, let's see. There was a Florida circuit of theater, dinner theater at the time, which doesn't really exist anymore. And we went down and we worked a lot of that. And I did like 4 different shows at Burt Reynolds Theater. And then when one of our
Did you meet Burt Reynolds?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I did Danny Zuko in Grease down there as well. And Burt came back, and he was really terrific and so supportive. And I sent you one of the pictures with Burt and myself when I was in Grease. And, I asked him, I was like, Burt, I'm just starting out in my career. What advice do you have for me? And he was like, kid, you got it all. He said, I can't do what you can do.
Wow.
He's like, just keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing everything right. And I was like flabbergasted.
Wow.
I was so thrilled.
Yeah.
And same thing with Dom DeLuise, and I also did Bye Bye Birdie for them. I was Conrad Birdie, and I did that with Charles Nelson Riley and Alice Ghostley. And it was just a great experience. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, getting back to how I got to Reno.
Yeah.
Joe had been in a company of Hello Dolly with Carol Channing in Reno, and they toured.
Oh, so he knew Reno.
He had been there. He played at the Sahara in Reno at the time, which is now, I think it's a condo building. And he's like, when I was in Reno, there was this great big show called Hello Hollywood Hello at the MGM Grand. And he said, I noticed in the backstage theater listings that they're looking for people. So we should fly out there and audition. So we called and made an appointment, made sure it was happening, and we flew to San Francisco and stayed overnight in the flop house because we had no money, drove across through Reno from San Francisco, and Reno is like 2,500, 5,000 feet
Yeah,
up in the air, above sea level.
Yeah.
Well, when you're living in Florida, you're at sea level.
Yeah, and you got some nice moist air.
Yeah, and it's nice and moist.
Yeah.
So we got there with no sleep, and the stage in Reno is bigger than Radio City Music Hall.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I know
just
it's
so,
big, but I didn't know it was bigger than Radio City
Yeah,
Music Hall.
yeah. I mean, I think it's like bigger than a football field.
It was. I always heard it was the size of a football
Yeah.
field. Yeah.
So we had to audition. And we learned a dance number, and this dance number was very intense. It was a real it's called Heat Wave. So it was real jazzy and real pop.
Yeah.
And we're dancing across the stage. Well, by the time we got from one side of the stage to the other, we were so out of breath we thought we were going to fall over.
And
But-
you didn't have to wear this heat wave hat. The girls wore these heat
Yeah,
wave hats.
right,
We did
right.
head rolls and we danced in this.
I
hat.
know you did, yeah.
That's crazy.
But we got to dance in macrame outfits.
And
It was a
boots.
macrame
Did you have boots?
and boots and a macrame G-string, and then the bell-bottom cuff started at the knee
Okay,
and went
I
all the way
remember
down to
that.
the ground. They were big wide bell-bottoms with heavy macrame around the bottom.
Yeah.
So when we would dance, the bell-bottoms would grab around our ankles and practically trip us. But it was
See,
fun.
we
It
were
was
always
such a-
talking about the girls having a
I-
hard time wearing their costumes, and the guys.
And
had
we
some
wore top
challenges,
hats,
too.
red top hats with little balls of feather on top of that
I
too. We had to
remember.
keep that on, and the macrame and the bell bottoms and ooga ooga ooga. So it was a lot of fun though. I mean, it was just such an
That was
energy.
a great number.
And it was such a beautiful
And you
show.
guys, I had to throw this in. We wore fishnets. You guys didn't wear fishnets.
No, we had our butts
So-
exposed.
So you had to be in really good shape. Not
Yeah.
that we weren't, but
Yeah,
I mean the fishnets would cover up anything.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a lot of fun. We used
I
to
think
go
there
up
were
to.
48 women on stage in these hats,
I think so.
and were there as many guys?
Pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah. Because remember those big giant staircases on either side? We all filled those staircases too
Yeah.
at the end of that number when the curtain came down. And then either Michael Shepard or Marty Lewis had the closing spin-off dance number, diva number,
You would
while the
Leslie
curtains were
Bandy
closing.
and
Yeah.
like Liz Elliott.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
But that was such a beautiful show.
That
It
was
was
a
such a
great
thrill.
show.
So we, kind of achieved our dream by getting in that show because we just wanted to build a life. We bought a house. We took a trip to Hawaii, and we stayed in that show for 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Did you close it?
I didn't close it because I had auditioned. Joe was transferred to business theater department with the MGM Grand,
Okay.
and Joe Esposito and Richard Sturm and James Trudeau got with him, and he opened a business theater department. We did a couple of shows in Reno and then down at the MGM in Las Vegas. So he went down there before I did, and then I went down and auditioned. And I auditioned for City Lights, which was an ice show
Yeah.
and a dancing show
Yeah.
at the Flamingo at the time.
And you got it?
I got it.
And you ice skate?
I ice skate, yeah.
Okay, I need to hear this story. But we need to take a quick commercial break.
Okay.
And now we're going to continue on with Frank's, his career now coming to Las Vegas. So we'll be right back.
No.
Two.
So we're back with Frank, and he was telling me about his career from beginning to how he got to Reno, and now your career is continuing on in Las Vegas.
Yes.
So Joe got the job down in Las Vegas with business theater,
Mhm.
and then you followed him down, and you were an ice skater?
I started ice skating when I was a kid in Pennsylvania.
Oh, so, okay.
So I was never a trained ice skater.
Yeah,
But
but
the stuff
you'd
we
have
did in the
skates
show,
on.
it was fine. But, which
Well,
was funny because some of the tall nudes that were in the ice skates, we used to just push them across the stage.
Well, did you know Dulcie?
Yeah.
Because Dulcie,
Dulcie
talks
was in
about being pushed.
Yeah,
'cause
she was
never
one of
ice skated
them.
before.
But she was gorgeous, so who
Oh,
cared?
yeah.
You know? And fortunately, she had no top but a big hoop skirt, so nobody saw her feet.
So were you a singer, dancer?
I was a singer. Yeah, I auditioned for the show as a dancer and a skater and a singer, and I wound up being the principal singer understudy.
Okay.
And then the day that I auditioned was very special because we came down to Las Vegas, just kind of like on a whim weekend vacation audition process, and I was over at Caesar's Palace, and I was crossing the street to go audition at the Flamingo.
Yeah.
And when I came back after the audition, I was feeling really good about it. And there used to be this big line of fountains going out to the strip at Caesar's with these angels with trumpets on
Yes.
it. And back in those days, they used to do a Discovery on Ice show with all the Olympic winners of that year.
Really?
So it was out where the tennis courts and stuff are in
Yeah,
the back.
yeah.
And who was sitting at the edge of the fountain was Brian Boitano, who won the gold medal
Wow.
that year in the Olympics.
See, Vegas.
And it was like a sign.
All
I was like, I
happening.
won. I know I got this audition. And I did. So I was in that show for about a year and a half. And
Okay.
then I moved on to audition for Jubilee. Because that was kind of like the
Oh, yeah.
Vegas version of Hello Hollywood,
Yeah.
but not as big.
Right.
And I got that as well.
And everybody thought Jubilee was big down here in Las
Yeah,
Vegas.
yeah. But and there were so.
So what years did you dance in Jubilee?
I'm sorry.
What years did you dance in
So
Jubilee?
91 through 90 through 92. I retired in July of 1992.
Okay.
Yeah. So, so
Jubilee.
the
Yeah.
thing about the shows was that they were so freaking beautiful. The costumes, the sets, the scenery. You know, these costumes, those headdresses
Bob
over
Malky
there.
finale
Bob Malky
costumes.
finale costumes. And, you know, even the guys, I mean, we wore
Yeah.
Bob Mackie tuxedos. I sang a number at the end of the first act, which was based on Ethel Merman's No Business Like Show Business disco album. And I was wearing a gorgeous embroidered white Bob Mackie vest jacket. And, you know, with a tuxedo pants. And it was just amazing, amazingly beautiful. So, and the orchestrations, I mean, you really felt like you were in a Hollywood musical doing those shows.
Oh, you did.
You know, you really did.
Well, they were tributes to Fred Astaire and
And
Ginger
they were
Lodge
tributes to
and
the MGM musicals,
just
the
all
era.
those old MGM.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So it was very fortunate, and you know, I met some of the best people in the world, and still friends with them.
Oh,
You know,
I mean,
and-
really,
yeah.
you know, when I left the shows, because I was in shows from 79 to 91, and then I
Uh-huh.
remember I went into the real world or the
Yeah.
other world,
Yeah.
and when I started working at other places, there were like all these short people,
Yeah,
right? Because we were, I mean, you had to be a minimum of 5'8" to audition for the shows, and then
Right.
the guys could be up to 6'4",
Yeah.
6'5".
right.
So it really hit me when after I left the shows, that, you know, that all these short people,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
right, that
Well,
were out in the world.
Well, the same is like when I retired in '92.
And we danced with some of the most beautiful people in the
Oh,
world, too. So, I
absolutely.
mean, you just were...
Well, especially going to Reno because they imported girls from Germany and England and France and South Africa, and it was just like, and they all had names like Julana and Desiree and
Janu, and yes, I
you know,
know.
just
Yeah.
and they were stunningly beautiful.
Yeah,
So
or
it was,
Tammy from
Tammy
Tel
Caspi,
Aviv.
our good friend from Israel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
That was a great show, Jubilee.
It
I
really
was in the original cast before
Uh-huh.
the MGM fire,
And
but
then they
I
had the
never...
fire.
I went to the Lido afterwards and never went back.
Yeah.
It was a hard show, too.
yeah,
There was a lot of dancing.
yeah, there really was.
Yeah, and then having the dressing rooms in the basement, running up and down the stairs.
Yeah. Modesty is not something that you have when you're in these
No.
shows because the quick changes are so quick.
Oh.
And a lot of times your costumes are just laid off in the wings.
Yes.
So you have to get past the curtain to make sure nobody can see you changing from the audience.
right.
And
That's right.
take everything off, put everything right back on, run back out on stage, and you're in top hat and tails, or else you're in the Macrame G-string outfit, or you're in a mirrored jockstrap for the space number.
Yeah.
It's just, you're flying out of the ceiling. You have to run up 4 stories to get on the ceiling
get the
discs
stair-
that drop
yeah,
you,
yeah.
you know, out of the ceiling. So
Or
I
even
mean,
the staircase. I mean, you go up
Yeah.
3 flights to come
Right.
down 3 flights.
Right.
And I don't remember any handrails. I don't
no,
remember
there
worrying
weren't.
about
There
falling.
weren't. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. So you know, I mean, I have a problem with vertigo. So when I first went to Reno to audition for the show, and I saw those staircases, I was like, oh my God, I hope I can do this show because,
Yeah.
you know, and finally I got used to it and
Yeah.
it was fine.
yeah,
You know, but yeah, you can't have a balance problem. You can't have
no.
and you have to like not eat anything either because you still look great, but you know, I'm about 40, 50 pounds heavier than I was in this show.
Well, back then we were all really thin.
Hmm. And we didn't even realize it until like now. I'll go back and look at pictures of myself, and
Yeah.
I was like 100 pounds thinner than I am.
Well, I know. I think it was kind of like the Twiggy days.
Yeah.
Where, I mean,
Yeah.
in the Lido, the Lido, it was the girls were just. We were all just skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was topless and stuff. But I remember
Yeah.
sometimes people would come out and go. I'd hear comments afterwards. I don't care if those girls are topless. They don't got no boobs. They're so damn skinny.
True.
But it was an arts thing. It wasn't a sexual thing.
No. No.
I mean, and really, you never even looked at anybody's boobs or butts or whatever because it was just the whole picture.
The whole picture.
It was like the Airtight costumes and the Ziegfeld costumes, and you're just looking at the beauty and the ambiance of everything, not just a person.
Right. Well, because there wasn't just a person out there. There were usually like 100.
No, and it's so funny
there.
because, you're back then with that many people in the cast, you really felt fortunate if you got a spot, like a lead spot.
Yeah.
So, and then sometimes it was like a little bit of a game, as to who was going to sing that night or who was going to be the top dancer that night or whatever. So there'd be a little bit of
But even when you were a lead, there were maybe, 60 people behind you.
Well, yeah, when I did Finale Staircase, there were like 80 girls on stage in Big Bob Mackey costumes, and here I am wearing just a black tuxedo and top hat. So who the heck's looking at me?
So, and were you singing "A Pretty Girl Is Like a Melody"?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, can you sing that, Frank?
A pretty girl is like a melody that haunts you night and noon. She will leave you and then come back again. A pretty girl is just like a melody.
Wow, you still remember it.
Yeah.
And you haven't lost your voice because
Yeah.
you're still singing.
I am still singing.
In the men's choir.
So when I retired in '92, I went into the real world, as you did.
Because we ran into each other. I hadn't seen you for
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
I was at Nevada Ballet Theater. We were doing the Black and White Ball,
Right.
Women of the Year.
Right.
And you were the catering manager.
Yeah.
At
So-
the Bellagio?
I worked at Bally's.
Yeah.
I opened Paris. I worked at Bellagio, and I went back to Bally's Paris, and then I went to open Aria, and I wound up at Caesar's Palace, and I did that for 27 years. So I was
27 years?
I was in sales,
Wow,
catering,
Frank.
convention services, and became a director and a senior manager for all those different properties.
Yeah.
So I did that, and it was weird because like when you transition out of show business
Yeah.
with all these wacky, temperamental people and beautiful people, and you're in the real world, which is so conservative.
Yes.
It's like I had to put my cloak on and
Yeah,
kind
you
of felt
couldn't
like
be wacky
I felt like Clark
temperamental.
Kent. I was no longer Superman.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah,
people,
whole different world.
Yeah. So I did that, and it was an exciting time because I kind of like led into that through the business theater and convention shows that I did as a performer.
Okay.
So that got me interested in the hotel side of stuff.
Okay.
And I got to know some people in the industry. I got to know meeting planners. I got to realize what the entire package was about.
Yeah.
And, the ratio between catering conventions, hotel sales, guest rooms, and all that kind of stuff. So that was my profession
Wow.
for 27 years.
So you were ready to make that transition?
I was ready to make that turn because, Peter Pan found his shadow, didn't want to put his G-string on anymore.
So how old were you when you left the shows?
So I was 38, I think.
Okay. That's pretty
Yeah.
standard. I was
Yeah.
36, going on 37.
Yeah.
That's a good run.
Yeah, it was a very good run.
Yeah.
And I was, I think, 61. I retired from business when when COVID hit. I think I was 66 at the time.
Okay.
So I'm 71 today. So,
Still look fabulous, Frank.
thanks.
You're 71?
Yeah, 71.
How did that happen?
Yeah, I don't know, because I still feel like I could run out there and do heat wave or disco.
Well, I don't know if I'd want to with my hat, but yeah. So
and
you did that.
I did that, and it was always, I transferred my creativity to that field.
Yeah.
And there was always something to look forward to, a fabulous wedding or a fabulous conference, the Black and White Bar,
I remember.
where we honored Ava Longoria, Florence Henderson, Mitzi Gaynor, who were some of the other ones?
yeah, I just blanked on my
Yeah.
first year, it was with what's her face, uh, and she had a show here at Caesar's Palace.
Well, Anne Margaret did. I think she was honored as well. Carol Channing was honored.
Yeah, but we're coming. Come newer.
Yeah.
Come forward. Fast forward.
Oh, Celine Dion.
Celine Dion.
Yeah, and
that was my first
Right.
black and white ball. Was
And
Celine.
the last one I did was with Marie Osmond and Shania Twain.
Oh, yeah.
So I
They
did that.
had-
That was at Caesars.
That was so much fun to run into you.
Oh
I
yeah,
had no
that was
idea.
great.
'Cause
Well, I had
we
no
kinda
idea you
lost-
were down here doing that.
Yeah,
you know?
and we kind of, you just lose track of each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was really fun and cool. And then when I retired, I went to brunch with a bunch of you guys, and they were all
Bunch
going.
of you guys.
Yeah.
Bunch of you
Well,
showgirls.
A bunch of you showgirls and men.
Yeah. Okay.
And we went to see I think it was the holiday show for the Las Vegas Men's Chorus
Okay.
at Artemis Ham Hall at
Yes.
UNLV
Yep.
after brunch. And then Susan Soltig was like, "Why don't you do that? You should be out there doing that." And I was like, "Should I? I mean, would you guys come if I was in it?" So
You never had thought about it until we started.
I thought about it.
Really?
I went to see it quite a
Yeah.
lot because it's 33 years in existence.
Yeah.
And
And they're
I
up
knew
to
some of the
like, aren't they up
guys.
to 80? Didn't they used to be like
What-
30 or 40?
It was like 20 at one
20,
point.
yeah.
Especially after COVID.
Yeah.
And now we're up to like between 80 and 100 people.
Wow.
We do 3 performances a year at Artemis Ham Hall, a holiday concert, a spring concert, and a summer concert. And so I joined that, and I've been on it for 3 years now.
3 years?
And now I'm a member of the board as well.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and I got to sing a solo every once in a while.
I was there at your last solo. Tell us about your last solo.
Okay. So,
And I remember you saying, "Oh, I'm singing a solo," and I go, "What are you singing?" And you were being really vague, and you were like, "Oh, you'll have to come see." And
so the theme of the show this past June, which happened to be on my birthday, by the way, was Broadway.
yeah,
So I was thrilled, and we sang so many songs that I had sung in New York, and as part of the repertoire.
they have
It was
a
just
great
really
collection.
wonderful.
I love
we
their
had,
collection.
yeah, we
of
started off
songs.
with 42nd Street, and did Pippin and West Side Story, and Everybody Says Don't, and we wound up the first act with a medley of Somewhere Over the Rainbow
Yeah, I remember
and Wicked, Defying Gravity, and we got a standing ovation.
Yes,
Yeah, it was
I
so
mean,
powerful and so beautiful.
Your voices are
Yeah,
just
there's so many talented guys, and the guys aren't performers. They're not professional performers.
Yeah.
They're from all walks of life. A lot of them are teachers. Some are retired. Some are in their 20s. So it's a great cross
But
section.
how many? You guys rehearse a lot too.
We do. We rehearse every Sunday.
Yeah.
And there's also a specialty chorus within the group that I'm a member of. There's about 25 guys.
Okay.
And we get to sing 4 different songs that are a little bit more intricate, a little bit more harmonized.
Yeah.
So, that's always a fun challenge too. But for the finale of the Broadway show, we sang Can't Stop the Beat from Hairspray.
Yeah.
So we have to audition for all of our solos.
Okay.
And when we auditioned, I came out dressed as Edna Turnblatt. The John Travolta role in the movie. And I wound up getting it, and it was so much fun
Fabulous.
because I wanted to just get out there and explode and just get the audience up
And
and
you
dancing.
did.
And it was just a lot of fun. So,
Oh.
and again, we got a standing ovation for so.
You were fabulous. And you came out, and I'm like, "Is that Frank? That's Frank."
Yeah.
We're all like, "It's Frank."
Yeah, the guys in the show didn't even know that it was me. And until at the end, when I took a bow, I pulled my wig off and took my glasses off, and they're like, "Whoa!"
The crowd went wild.
It was just fun.
I mean, you guys got a standing
It was fun.
ovation for
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
That was so fun.
So it's I mean,
you know what? You never lose it because
well, it's just like there's always something to do with your life and with your talents and with your arts.
But I think as an artist, you never lose it. I mean,
Yeah.
the dedication and commitment it took to get to where you were, to be on
Right.
Broadway.
Right.
I mean, I was watching you, and you had choreographed every move.
Yeah.
And did you perform that ever?
No.
So
no,
you
I just did it for the show.
Yeah, because I was just watching you, and every move was so clean, and your choreography, and it was like, he's a pro. He's still a pro. Once a pro, always a pro.
Yeah.
Like they tell us, once a showgirl, always a showgirl.
Exactly.
You.
Well, it's like
was
talking
blown
about
away.
the early years. You train forever.
Yes.
So you're always in ballet class, jazz class, tap class, acting class, vocal class, and it's like you're perfecting your career and you're perfecting your art. And as much time as you put into that, you don't get to perform that much of it, even if you're in a show. So you're training for years, and let's say you're training for 25 years, and you only perform for 3 or 4 years, some people.
Right.
I was fortunate, and I got to perform until I was 38.
Right, and you performed in a lot of shows, and we performed six nights a week, 2 shows a night, 3 on Saturday. I mean, it was ingrained.
Yeah, no, it was. So,
And
that's part of your culture. And that's
Yeah.
part of who you are as a person.
Exactly, it is.
So it's kind of nice to release, and, after this long being in the corporate world, just getting
Wearing a
back
suit. To wearing a dress.
Yeah, but to wear a dress.
Got to wear a dress.
To just going back and, being you. And one of the things that I really love about chorus is that we have a very talented artistic director.
Yes,
His name is
do.
Ryan Duff, and a fantastic president. His name is Ryan Miller. And it's a safe place. We are a safe place open to all people. And we have gay, straight, bi, trans, but it's a men's chorus.
Yeah.
And it's not identified as a gay chorus, but it is probably 80% gay. But the thing is that everything that we choose, everything that they put together for us as a show, is a very positive, safe message.
Right.
It's very uplifting.
Yeah.
Like even the song Everybody Says Don't. That's a song about people will tell you, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do that, and you can. You believe in your heart that you can.
Yeah.
So that's your message. We sang Something's Coming from West Side Story, which is a building number where you feel like, I can tell that something is going to be happening in my life. I'm just like on the edge, and then here it is. And that was a medley with Tonight from West Side Story.
I know.
So it's
Who
just,
does the arrangements?
Well, some of them are purchased.
Okay.
We're in cahoots with ASCAP, so we have to pay royalties on the songs that we sing. But our artistic director, Ryan Duff, also does a lot of the arrangements, and we perform one of his arrangements for every show. And so we do 20 songs.
And then the men, just sitting in the men's choir and your voices, it's so powerful.
And it's all memorized. We do 20 songs. 14 of them are with the main chorus, the other 6.
That's right, I never see you with the...
Yeah, so we have to memorize all that and all the parts, and we have bass 2, bass 1, tenor 1, and tenor 2, so there's 4-part harmony with everything. So it's really an outstanding sound. I'm very proud to be a part of it, especially at this stage of my life.
Yeah.
It's like, who could ask for anything more?
And can you sing that song for us?
Who could ask for anything more?
And he breaks out in song. Oh, I agree.
Always.
Just to have that opportunity.
Yeah.
It was like when we did Stephen Sondheim's Follies.
Yes.
And they brought 12 legendary showgirls back on stage. I never thought I'd be back on stage.
That was beautiful.
I'll do production, but to be on stage was just magical, isn't it?
It really is.
And you just appreciate it even more.
Well, what's so wonderful about the chorus? We had 950 people in the audience at this last show, which was our largest so far. So, as a matter of fact, we're going to be doing 2 shows in December, a Saturday night and a Sunday afternoon, so we can capture more of an audience. But they're all friends and family for the most part. So when you come out and they just start cheering when that curtain opens up, and especially after the first number, it's like an outpouring of love, and it just lifts you, and it takes you on that ride.
That was like the Follies, because they were all, cast people that came back, cast and crew of all those shows.
No, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think you've got other people besides casting. I think you've got a real wide range of people that are coming to see you now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. As a matter of fact, I went to see at the Smith Center yesterday, Some Like It Hot, which was a terrific show. And during the intermission, I was talking to the lady that was beside me, and she's from New Jersey, and she loves Broadway, and she was talking about when she first moved here, where do I go? Where do I go to the ballet? Where do I go to the Philharmonic? And she said, and I love, you may not know about this, the Las Vegas Men's Chorus.
Oh.
I go to the show every time they have it. I've been going for 3 years.
Oh.
And I said, really? Well, that's wonderful. And I said, at the last one, I was Edna. She fell out of her seat. She was like, oh my God, I'm so thrilled.
I'm sitting by a celebrity.
Yeah. So you never know who you're going to run into.
Yeah.
But, that's all part of networking, too, just like in business.
Yeah.
You got to network, you got to get yourself out there and get word out. And it's so nice in this day and age, too, with everything that's going on, to have something so positive and music that will take you out of your comfort zone and lift you and just elevate your
And
being.
I love Artemis Ham Hall. I mean,
Yeah.
that theater's been there forever, but that's one of my favorite theaters.
Yeah, it's really, we've seen quite a few shows. We saw David Archuleta there last Christmas. He came and did his show. And Smith Center is just such an asset to the city.
Smith Center. And then they brought the 12 Legendary Showgirls back to perform with the Philharmonic.
Ah.
George Daugherty brought us in, and we were on that Smith Center stage. And to be on that Smith Center stage, like you, I mean, we're going all the time to see those shows. And then to be standing on that stage, and
it is, yeah.
we were just all felt so blessed.
That was one of the
fortunate.
things I loved the most about touring when I was on the road with shows, going all over the country. And there was this one place in Hibbing, Minnesota. It was the most opulent theater I think I've ever seen.
In Hibbing, Minnesota?
Hibbing, Minnesota, of all places. It was an old vaudeville theater.
Wow.
But it was gorgeous. I mean, it made the Pantages look like a truck
Really?
stop. Yeah, I mean, it was gold everywhere and just absolutely fantastic. But you see these old, wonderful theaters where there's so much history, and, vaudeville, Sophie Tucker was there, Bob Hope was there, all these old stars that were touring before movies really made it, because that was people.
And thank God that they're keeping those theaters,
preserved.
that they haven't imploded them like we implode our hotels.
There's a Facebook website that I belong to, and it's Old Architectural Theaters.
Really?
And you could just look through them, and they're just absolutely mind-boggling.
Oh, I'm going to look for that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some of them are being torn down, but we got to keep the arts going.
Well, that was like, what was the theater downtown Reno? The Mapes.
The Mapes, the hotel, yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It was on the National Register of Historic Places. They still demolished it,
Yeah.
and they've never built anything there. It's like a roller skating
But it was
rink or something.
it was
I guess,
filled with asbestos, and it needed
was
probably
it?
more
And I think the
reconstruction.
pipes had flooded. It had numerous floods. But still, I mean.
I know. The art of the architecture is a lost art, kind of.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. Anything else? What did we miss? I mean, do you want?
I don't think so. I talked about myself enough.
And you even sang for us. Do you have any last little song you want to sing?
No, just just keep it coming. Keep the arts going. Keep being an inspiration.
Yeah.
It's so great you do this, and because now when you think of Showgirls, there's very few.
And we're still the icon of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But there's no Showgirl
There's no
show.
Showgirl shows. Yeah. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that small review.
Well, Vegas the show.
Vegas the show at the I call it the 11th, the Planet Hollywood.
David Sachs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only one.
I know.
So,
sad.
but it's great. We were so fortunate to have been a part of it.
I mean,
really.
what opportunities are out there for dancers and singers like we had?
No, there's not. I mean,
so
even
lucky.
like the Broadway shows that I did, dinner theater is gone, regional theater, all these budget cuts on some of them. I think one of the closest, best regional theater is Cedar City, Utah.
Yes,
the Shakespearean Festival.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to keep those donations, you got to keep that interest, and you got to keep supporting it. There's no place for kids to be bad these days, and I kind of feel sorry for them, for dancers and actors that want to do it.
Yeah. Well, I like they're just out there. What are they calling it? They're calling them gigging. They're all out there gigging.
Well,
and we didn't have to gig. We signed 6-month contracts, and if we did a good job, we were pretty much.
Those 6-month auditions.
I know. Well, you were talking about 500 people showed up to the audition that you went to in New York City?
Yeah, my first audition,
For Hello, Hollywood, Hello?
For the Lido.
Oh, for the Lido.
Yeah.
500?
Yeah, because open calls, that was it. I mean, sometimes it would be thousands, especially if it was a national tour like Annie or something at the time.
How could they find you in that sea of thousands of people?
Like I said, back then, a lot of times if it was that large of an audition, they would march you through and type you, meaning that you were the right physical body type for what they were looking for. And they would say, thank you, for coming, but we're going to keep this. Just like the show, a chorus line.
Yeah.
Step forward, step back, you know.
Yeah.
And you got to sing 16 or 32 bars. You didn't even get to sing a whole song, just to test your voice to see if you had a range and if you were okay.
Sounds kind of like
So-
Don Arden. Next.
Yeah, no, it
I mean,
was, you know.
He didn't let you
So-
sing a whole song.
No.
No.
So, I mean, it takes a lot of, kids that are starting out, you have to approach it as a business.
Yeah.
Because it is your business. You're investing in yourself.
Right.
You go to your class, whatever it is, and you keep finding places to sing.
Yeah.
Little show places, little restaurants, little piano bars.
Well, and you learn rejection too.
Absolutely.
I mean,
you have
if-
to.
You
Yeah.
can become a great salesperson after.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
mean,
you
you
can sell
can't-
yourself and
You,
over
you
and
can't
over and
take
over
anything
again.
personally.
no.
Unless you're really bad and somebody needs to tell you.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right. Like, sorry.
keep your day job.
Well, a few costumes hanging around. Should we try one on for good old days?
Well, sure. Yeah.
Now, this was the Hello Hollywood, hello. You guys didn't wear that big hat.
We wore red top
I know,
hats
I'm so
with
sorry.
these on top of them.
Yeah, that's right. And these are from Karen Burns' costume.
Ah,
Thank you, Karen
yeah.
Burns. And then this is from the Folies Bergère.
Ah, another beautiful show.
All right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go.
there we go. I gotta put my elastic.
So I feel
behind
like I should sing "The Sun Comes Out Tomorrow" with this thing on.
Can you?
Your sun will come out tomorrow.
You
Like
can
Annie.
bet you. Da. Well,
All right.
thank you, Frank.
Thank you,
for coming
Luann.
on. I just loved it.
That's
and,
great.
And we'll see you again at the. Well, if you're taking your hat off, I'm taking mine off. We'll see you again at the next Showgirl Connection.
Sounds good. All right.
All right.
Thanks. Love you.
Love you too.